dropped in that?
No, I think that's a good number. I want it to feel like you keep trying to increase that as a feeling.
Yeah.
Just watch this one here, Danny. Just recap what we've sort of taught. There's a couple of key things for you to sort of take away from this, and obviously to take to the range. And the sort of challenges now is you doing that on your own without a video, without a measuring device. So we've talked a lot about the feels that it creates. So first swing, when your early swings on the left hand side here, you know, obviously we established the 7 down attack area, but this feels normal to you, doesn't it? This is comfortable.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, obviously, you know, yeah, it's some fats in there, yeah, take some maybe bigger divots.
Yeah.
Why, I'm not too sure, but obviously got maybe some ideas now. But
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
So I went out yesterday,
Yeah.
and the divots get worse as the club's loft increases. So
Yeah.
like, I was hitting my 54, my 52,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Big divots.
I was looking for worms.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a shorter shaft, isn't it?
Yes.
Shorter shaft. The club
Yeah.
comes from it's a
Steeper.
narrower and higher position
Yeah.
than
Right,
it is
okay.
when it's a longer club. It comes
So the same point goes then, Mike, does it? Yeah.
absolutely
Right, okay.
exactly the same point. Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't whether you've got that 54 in your hand or that 4-iron in your hand. Same thoughts.
Okay.
Obviously, your ball position is going to be slightly different
Of course,
between those
it's
two
gonna
clubs,
change, yeah.
which is going to alter angle of attack.
Yeah.
But it does highlight more when you go into that 54 because your ball position is naturally going to go further back,
Yeah.
and it's naturally going to be steeper because it's a short shaft.
Yeah.
And then you shift.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of you're adding the extra bits that you don't need, which
Yeah.
makes it worse.
Okay.
So, but it feels comfortable as a movement. You're swinging the golf club. This movement you're doing doesn't feel abnormal, does it?
No.
You're used to doing that movement.
Yeah.
So we can see just a shift there, which you think bumping, great, but then the bump just kept going and
keeps going.
turns into a slide.
Yeah.
And again, I get it. This is what I said to you before. It's like it's an anti-fat movement.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've seen that run of fat shots on the golf course. You don't want to do it. You start to move that ball further back. You start to shift more. So you're trying to subconsciously move your low point
Yes.
to that golf ball,
I am.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets worse and worse then, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit like opposites in golf, isn't it? It's not, it's not logical sometimes.
No, it's not. No, that's what. It wasn't logical for you to say, well, hit off the back foot. I think,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so, well,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense, because, like,
Yeah.
but no, if you're doing something extreme, then obviously you've got to have a feeling of the other extreme to fix it, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So obviously we've got that left hip just ventures way outside the
The ankle.
your left foot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that middle section just doing all that
Yeah.
sliding.
Yeah.
And you sort of see it coming through that impact there.
Yeah.
It buckles a little bit now because it's outside your leg. It's buckling
Yeah,
because
of
you're
course,
shifting weight onto it as you're trying
Right.
to turn a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So you've not got your foot underneath your body mass in a way, have
Yes.
you?
Yeah,
So
it's
it
gone
starts,
outside,
it
yeah.
starts to buckle a lot
Yeah.
more. So this is one of the last ones before we just threw a driving hand here. So this is where you're feeling like now you get to the top of the swing. Obviously your head position,
Head's massive, like, behind the ball, isn't it?
but your body isn't.
But my body isn't, no, that's right, yeah.
So obviously,
Yeah.
as you look,
Yeah.
I'm miles behind it, and,
Yeah.
and I mean you're a bit behind it there, but it's not like you've swayed off or
Yeah.
done any extreme lateral movement off the golf ball. That's
No, I mean, the
important thing.
feeling I have on my right hip is that I'm moving it towards the target.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel, like, to stay on top of the ball a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know. But obviously that bump forward is like taking my head
Yeah.
beyond the ball. You see,
Absolutely.
this is why the distinctness of the club.
So you get your shift,
Yeah.
but you're not feeling this. This is the bit
No.
I need you to take away from here today. Is what we're seeing isn't what you're feeling, which is where it's tricky for you.
Yeah.
So you're on the range, you're feeling
Yeah.
like everything's back here, and it
It
stays
does.
back there
It
all
does.
the way down impact.
Yeah.
But what it does, it just calms your shift. You're still shifting.
Yeah.
And that's the bit.
Yeah, but you can clearly see the legs a bit more straight though,
a
isn't
bit
it?
more stable, and then you can see how it stays a bit more stable then through,
Yeah.
so it doesn't buckle as much there.
No.
A bit more of a sort of platform to rotate, because you've got to rotate around that leg now, because most of your weight is now in this front leg.
Of course,
There's not a
yeah.
lot left here.
No.
Rightly, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So you need that sort of support, really, don't you? Of that that leg being sort of, it's like an anchor, isn't it? You're trying to turn around.
The whole weight's on that.
It's more supportive. That's more solid than it is if it's knees past you outside of your foot.
Absolutely.
You're rolling on the outstep of your foot. It's all getting a bit sort of unbalanced, isn't it, at the end? So it's just.
No, I'm well happy with that.
Yeah, it's good, and it's interesting how that just moved your strike down. That opened up some different sensations for you.
Yeah.
And then obviously we saw the angle attack just get a little bit quieter, and just that flight just popped up a little bit more than what you sort of used to.
Definitely, yeah.
So
you see, this is why I think it's important to have lessons, because like you lose your way sometimes, you see, and like with coming here, obviously that's like putting you back on the right track again, I think.
Yeah. So again, this is driver. Same thoughts. You're just obviously going to make sure that ball's forward. Again, tendency I could see was you try to move the ball back. You're used to that, aren't you? Obviously, have that little bit of that tilt if you can, so that will look like you're way behind the ball. And then again, you're just going to try and stay right behind it. So you're moving that angle attack again from sort of like 1 to 2 down to more 1 to 2 up. You just get a bit more of a consistency. You're still shifting.
Yeah.
You're feeling like you're back there. But you're just holding it back there that little bit longer, are you?
Yeah.
I think once you start to get that relationship between you and your weight shift in relation to where that club is at that certain point of the swing, and in all in relation to that golf ball, if you're a bit more into that position, you talked about before that you're very square on it impact, I am, and that's because obviously we said you sort of bump and then you keep sliding, so slide isn't rotation.
No. So
if you calm that slide down, it'd be interesting to see how rotation can potentially start to open up for you then.
Well, yeah, because like obviously if I'm keeping back, if I don't rotate, then surely my ball's going to go to the right side.
Yeah. You're going to want to
rotate to bring the club obviously to naturally close the club head.
And again, talking about another maybe visual for you to have are these boundaries of your body.
Yeah. Stay within those boundaries. Yeah.
If that, as we just talked there, if that knee gets outside this foot, that's a slide.
Yeah.
You can't slide and turn.
No. Can't.
So hard to do.
Yeah.
At a speed and a dive you can't do.
Yeah.
So if you think of like your boundary here, we hear terminology like hitting against a firm left side over sometimes. You're obviously thinking of just staying back to try and reduce that. But if we can sort of keep you more in that boundary, then it's easy to rotate. So then it opens that door. Think, okay, well I can start opening my body up a little bit more there, which is more freed, and potentially you can start squeezing a little bit of club head speed without trying to. As I said earlier, trying to well it. But that's it's like a byproduct of doing a better, more efficient movement.
Right.
It's good though.
Yeah,
done well there.
That's a good session there.
Some big feels.
Yeah.
Absorb those feels.